hello. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing great on this beautiful Sunday. Let's get it. Today we're talking about navigating grief alone, how to cope without a support system. So, I want you to know that grief by itself is hard already. Okay? It's overwhelming, it's stressful, and a strong support system is needed. But what do you do when you don't have a support system? Who do you turn to? How do you get through it, Dale? I'm going to give you some tips and some strategies on how to get through grief when you're coping alone. Hey, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about why grief feels harder when you're alone. We're going to talk about how to create your own support system and some practical coping strategies for healing. Okay? So, first, we're going to talk about why grief feels harder without support. Grief can feel isolating even when people are around. I can remember I have my sisters, I have my brother, I have my aunts, I have my uncles, I have my children. I had a partner at the time. And even though I had all of that, I still felt alone in my grief. I felt like no one really understood the pain I was experiencing. I felt like no one was able to actually help me through this process. I felt stuck. I felt alone. I felt angry. I felt some of everything, like some of everything. I felt pressure to move on. I felt pressure to get back to normal. I felt pressure to just be myself again. And I felt like that person I was no longer that person. Because my grief was so devastating. My loss was so hurtful. It was so emotional. I didn't want to feel like a burden to my sisters or my brother. I didn't want to feel like a burden to my kids that I was constantly talking about the person I had lost. I didn't want to feel like I was constantly sad or bringing up this loss. So I began to withdraw. I began to hold a lot of my emotions in. I began to just exist. I wasn't living any longer. I was just existing. So, if you have no close friends or family, grief can feel like it's swallowing you whole. And it really, really does. It will swallow you whole if you allow it to. I can remember just feeling like I was the only person going through this. Like I was the only person dealing with the loss of someone. Okay? I can remember feeling like my world had fell apart. My world had ended. Losing my mom felt like my world was over with. Like everything was just closed deal. I had lost a friend. I had lost motherly advice. I had lost guidance. I had lost someone if I really, really needed something, I could get it. I could turn to them. I could ask them for it. I had lost that. I had lost a connection to someone that carried me for 9 months and took care of me until I was able to take care of myself. And I felt just alone. And some days I still struggle with that. I still feel alone. I still feel like no one cares. Like everyone else has moved on and I just feel stuck. I have those days. So let's talk about creating your own support system. You feel alone or you are alone. How do you create your own support system? So one way of creating your own support system is seeking out communities. Community is everything. whether it's a online community grief support group, such as Grief to Grace, hey, on Facebook, or it's watching videos like this, like YouTube videos, or joining a local grief support group if you can find one in your local community or your church. There are different ways. Another one is journaling. Journaling as a self-support is great because it allows you to get your emotions out. It allows you to get your feelings out. It allows you to write about different parts of your life that's being affected at the time by your grief. Journaling has been a great help for me. It has helped me to see the things I am grateful for, as well as the progress I've made through my journey with grief and through my journey with loss. It has helped me to track my growth. It has helped me to see where I can improve on this journey. It has helped me to open up to my loved ones and to my family and to my friends. So it has also been like my go-to thing. It's my go-to thing, baby. That is my go-to thing. Journaling is my go-to thing all the way around the board. I love it. It helps me to process my grief, especially when no one is available to talk, when no one is available to listen. I grab my journal. I sit either on my bed or on my balcony, and I get those emotions out. I get those feelings out. By the time I finish, I do a little meditation, and I'm feeling great again. Therapy or coaching is also available. So many therapists specialize in grief. There's virtual therapy, there's face-to-face therapy, there's group therapy, there's different types of therapies that can help you. So if you're feeling like you need therapy, I'm going to always encourage you to go because therapy is great and it helps. It is a tool that helps you through this journey. Finding support in unexpected places. Finding support in coworkers. I remember I had a coworker that opened up to me about the loss of her parent, and it was amazing. I was able to give her some tips on how I made it through, how I'm making it through my journey. And also, I was able to tell her about my journal, Pathways to Peace, that has also been beneficial. And she ended up purchasing my journal on Amazon. She's purchased one for her. She's purchased one for other family members also to help them in their journey. So talking to an online friend can help. Talking to a neighbor can help. Talking to a stranger can help. I get strangers pour their lives out on me all the time. And I just listen. And if I feel the need to insert some advice, I do. But the majority of the time, I just listen. I just be that ear. Because that's what we all need sometimes. We all need just an ear. Someone to listen. To see how we feel. So, some practical ways of coping, alone is create a checklist. I have a checklist in my Facebook group. It's a self-care check-in. Check-in with yourself daily. Check-in with your emotions. How am I feeling today? If you're feeling some type of way, ask yourself, where are these emotions coming from? What caused me to start feeling this way? Where is this stemming from? And you'll figure out what's going on. So if all of a sudden, your day's going great, and then all of a sudden you feel this woof of sadness, check in with yourself. Ask yourself, okay, where did this come from? And try to pinpoint when you started feeling that way and what the situation was at the moment that you started feeling that way. Because sometimes our energy picks up on other people's energy. And you're wondering, like, where did that come from? Where did that thought come from? Or why do I feel like this now? I was having a great day. So check in with yourself daily. And also use my checklist. There's a checklist to check in with yourself daily in there, and there's a checklist for self-care. It gives you different ideas on how you can create self-care for yourself while you're grieving. Self-care isn't all about getting your nails done or getting your hair done or putting on your makeup. Self-care can be a variety of things. You can do self-care a variety of ways. There's no right way to do self-care, and there's no wrong way to do self-care. Also, use movements to process emotions. You can do things like yoga, Pilates, walks in nature, riding your bike. All those are ways to get your movements and emotions out. Okay? Movement is great. I find when days when I'm just feeling sluggish and I'm feeling like I don't want to do anything, or days when I'm just in my feelings and I get to moving. So sometimes moving helps. Also listening to music. Get you a grief playlist on days when your grief is a little overwhelming. Create you a playlist just for that. So some of the artists that I listen to, because my music has changed over the year, my music variety. So I listen to a lot of inspirational, motivational artists like Mellow Will, Iniko, who else? Chris and Steve. I listen to those different artists. I think it's Christina Savannah, Jen Aniko, I think her name is. So I kind of created a playlist of just inspirational music. Oh, and Londrell. I cannot leave my boo out. Londrell. Love his music. Very motivating, very inspirational. So I've learned to start listening to music that's uplifting, that can help raise my vibration, raise my emotions during times when I feel like I just want to cry. Okay, I also have a gospel playlist that I listen to. I listen to some of the artists that are out today, as well as some of the old artists that are out. It also helps to lift my spirits when I'm feeling down. Create a ritual, something that allows you to honor your loved one. I light a candle every morning on my prayer altar in honor of my loved ones that have passed away, and that's no longer with me. So that's just like, something that I do. It allows me the opportunity to talk to them. It allows me the opportunity to pour out my heart to God, to let them know that I miss them and things like that. So I want you to know that you're not alone in your journey. It's one of the things I want to reassure you. You're not alone. You're not by yourself. You don't have to go through this alone. Okay? You don't have to feel isolated. You don't have to be isolated. There are things out there and people out there that can help you on this journey. Okay? So I want you to know that if you're feeling alone, you are worthy of healing. And if this video resonated with you, please leave me a like or a comment below. Let me know. And I hope you have a great Sunday. And I hope that you find a support group. I hope that you find someone that'll listen. I hope that you find someone that'll be there for you. And I'll see you in my next video. As always, peace, and this too shall pass.